Hello world, my name is John and this is part 8 of my crazy life story. And with my storytelling, I got to the point when I got my E2 investors visa application declined, and my life changed dramatically from from being my own boss to being a fucking loser in stuck in Czechia, unemployed and with no money, no business, no nothing, no place to stay, no place to stay, and no food to eat, no food to eat. So that's how my life is. That's the current stage of my life. I'm neck deep in fucking shit, and I'm trying to put my story out there, how it all developed. Okay, so on January 12th, 2018, um, when I left that American Embassy building, I mean, I didn't know what I'm gonna do. I mean, I was so pissed. I was so disappointed. I mean, I I, I wanted to die. I didn't want to live. I wanted to go on the Charles Bridge, on that Charles Bridge, and I wanted to jump off of it like uh, like the famous actor, Czech actor did, which was pretty sad story. Uh, one of our Czech actors that immigrated to California, and he lived in California for a very long time, and he's since the regime change in our country. He started getting roles in movies again, and he played in theaters, and he had some kind of ritual, and his name is Jan Triska, and he had that ritual to go chill on Charles Bridge, and he sit on the ledge, and one day he fell in the Vltava river, and he killed himself. But it was a freak accident. It wasn't a suicide. But I was thinking actually jumping off that bridge and commit a suicide because I didn't get that visa. Fucking fuck, man. I'm still pissed because I'm stuck and I can't do anything about it. You know, it was for the first time in my life that some kind of law prohibited me from doing something, from living my life the way I want to, you know, do things I wanted to do. I can't do it anymore. I'm forced, you know, in doing, you know, something else that I don't want to do because I already been doing in my life things that I had to do in order to be able to do what I want. So I already did that. I've done that. You know, I've been there. I've done it. You know, I was working hard. I was saving money for my own business, for my own thing, and I finally, for the first time in my life, uh, 7 years ago, I started doing something that I want to do, that I'm good at, and it's my passion, and I'm completely devoted to that. You know, I love designing houses. I love working on houses. I love building and creating and renovating, making. I love making, you know, beautiful things and creating beautiful living spaces for, you know, for families or individuals. I just love, you know, creating nice, beautiful, modern, you know, interiors, and I want to do that, and I was already in the point in my life at the point in my life that I was able to do what I want and how I want it, and I was able to utilize my potential and my abilities and experiences and all that. And I mean, how many people can say that? I mean, not very many. And uh, and right now I can't do any of that, and it's really frustrating. So at that moment in Prague, when my visa was denied, I realized that everything changes from now on, and I'll be forced doing things that I have to do instead of what I want to do, and that really sucks. I always thought that with what I'm doing, the real estate, I'll be able to grow and make enough money to be completely independent on making money. I keep saying to myself this kind of saying that if you are good at something and you're doing it for a certain period of time, the money is just a secondary byproduct. I mean, if you are good at something and you love it, you love doing it. I mean, there's no limit how much money you can make. I mean, the money is just not important anymore. You can make so much money that one day you'll just stop counting. I mean, you don't care about money anymore, and that's where I was. I was at the time at a point in my life that I didn't care about money anymore. I cared about was about creating something, and the money just comes by on its own. And I just didn't care about money, like other people uh, care, how much money they make and how much money they spend and all that. I literally do not care about it anymore, uh, because I was able to do my own thing. But right now, I have to start caring about it because I have to survive somehow or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet if my house don't sell. So so what I did, trying to get distracted from that particular down moment. I just did traditional tourist stuff in Prague. I took a walk from the Charles um Castle through Charles Bridge to Václav Square, and I took some pictures, and I was trying to pretend like I'm just another tourist. I was just enjoying the sightseeings, and I was looking at other people, what they do, and I took some pictures and videos, and then I got on train and back here to my hostel, and that was it. That was the last moment when I felt like I could travel, but right now I'm stuck. Anyway, what I've decided, after I got back, I mean, I've decided, man, I'm not gonna be wasting any more time here in this town. I'm gonna go to some bigger town and find me some job. I wanna work in real estate, and so I wanna see if I can find a job at one of the real estate agencies like Remax. Okay, so I had this idea. I will go to Brno, which is the second largest city in Czechia, and I'll find me a hostel there, and I'm gonna try to find me a job. So that's exactly what I did. So I packed my bag because that's all I have right now. It's one bag of clothes, and I don't have anything else. I don't even have a computer, laptop. All I got is this old iPhone 6 that I'm recording on. So I packed my bag and left. When I got to Brno, I couldn't find any accommodation. The first hostel I went to was like really shitty, dirty place full of gypsies and fucking shit. I mean, that place was so dirty. But anyway, I didn't want to spend too much money for accommodation, so I paid for I think it was 2 weeks or so. And then I saw the room and I decided I'm not gonna stay here. So I went back to the front desk, and just imagine like really dirty place, like everything is fucking nasty shit, and the old fat woman, like ugly fat dirty woman behind the glass was telling me that she won't refund me for that uh, time that I paid for. So I got really pissed, and I was forced to use my last money on my cell phone I had to call the owner of that place and figure something out. But I didn't have time to fuck with it that on that day. So I arranged for him, for next day. He told me that tomorrow, like the next day, I can come back and get a partial refund. So I found for that night, that one night I spent at some kind hotel, uh, which was like a little bit expensive. I didn't want to stay there any much longer than one night. Just it was just emergency. I just needed a place to sleep and eat and get some rest. I think it was like January 14th or so. And then on the next day, I found me a hostel that wasn't like really good either, but at least I found something, and it was like twice as much as expensive than the hostel I was staying here. And but I found a place to stay, so I paid me for a month in Brno, and I wasn't happy about it at all, and I didn't feel comfortable in Brno. But I told myself, I have to do something. I have to find me a job here, before I ran out of money, because my money was running out so fast, like for the food and accommodation and traveling, that I really needed a job like right then at that moment. It's like it was like a January 14th, 15th, and I needed to take care of it, because if I don't get a job, if I don't find a job, I won't have money for another month, and I still need to keep paying that storage unit in United States, which is $150 a month. I still need to keep paying that, so I don't lose my so I don't lose my stuff and my videos and all that, my pictures, my computer, my hard drives. So I was really under lots of pressure, so I applied for jobs online, and then I got a call from Remax. Okay, so I went there a couple times for an interview, and I told them my situation, and the owners of the Remax office told me that they are going to be able to find a solution for this situation, that they can, because I don't have any papers that I can work, that they could temporarily solve my situation and give me some kind of job before I take care of all my papers. So they offered me a job as a real estate agent assistant, but that never happened. They made me come to that office probably 4 more times. So I was there in total about 6 times for some kind of interview, and that interview usually took like 5 minutes, and he only told me what we're gonna do next. Okay, so I actually never got that job, and uh, at first they told me that I'll be able to start making money since day one, but as it progressed, I realized I won't be making any money over there because they don't have any job to give me. Okay, so that didn't work out. They didn't work it out on their end, and I actually had to travel here, and in the meantime, I actually had to travel here back to Havirov to get registered at a local labor department so I can actually get my health insurance, because when I was applying, when I was going through all this process applying for my E2 visa, I didn't want to be like in evidence anywhere on any kind of offices, bureaus here in Czechia. I didn't want to go to health insurance. I didn't want to go to a labor department. I didn't want to go to a social security office. I didn't want to get registered anywhere. But eventually, I had to start doing that. So right now, I'm registered everywhere. Plus, I even went to a doctor. Okay, that's another story. I think I already mentioned some of that. Um, anyway, so it didn't work out at Remax, and 3 weeks later in Brno, I realized I am not going to find any job, and I don't have any more money, and I'm done. I mean, I'm broke, and next week I won't have money for food, and I don't have any other solution for this situation than to get in touch with my sister. So on January 26th, actually, she had a birthday, so I wished her happy birthday, and a couple days later we started emailing, because I told her that I need help, and I can't be in Brno anymore because I don't have money, and it wasn't easy to convince her to help me out, because my mother always gets involved in everything, and my mother started shooting me emails, and writing me millions of reasons why I can't move in with my sister, but I couldn't give up. I mean, I didn't have any other solution for this, for my situation, than to move in with my sister, and I really needed to ask for help, even though I didn't want to. I was trying to avoid that at all costs, but it didn't work out. It didn't work out for me. So I was forced to ask for help, and that's where I'm at right now. And I'm trying to get. Yesterday I was at a local social security office, and I applied for some financial aid, but that will take some time before I can get any kind of money for food. So far my sister is feeding me. Okay, I don't have any money, I don't have anything. um, so while I was in Brno, I think 1 day in or 2 days in, I have decided to take another shot at visiting Dominique in Vienna, Austria. All right, because I really needed to. Well, I don't want it to sound like I only want to see her for my own benefit, or because only I need it, or whatever. But I feel kind of, it feels kind of waste of of time. I don't see why we should stay in touch all these years if we shouldn't see each other ever again. So I felt like this is my destiny to go there, and to try to visit her again and surprise her, because the only time she responded to my emails was on the January 12th, when my visa was declined. Other than that, she didn't email me or send me a voice recording ever since since the last time I saw her. But I still felt like this is something I have to do, uh, because I think I won't have another chance to see her. And when we spoke before Christmas, she told me that she wanted to see me, but it's gonna be sometimes later on, like in January or whatever. And it already was like half January, okay, and she didn't uh, respond. She didn't email or anything. And I've decided, if I don't do it now, I probably won't be able to do it later, because I will run out of money, and I don't know what's coming next. I mean, right now I'm here in Brno, and it's only like 2 hour ride on a train. It's like 2 hour train ride from Brno to Vienna. So like the second day in, I've decided that I'm gonna get on train and go to Vienna, surprise her again, because she, I mean, I all I all I ever wanted to is to arrange for some kind of meetup with her, uh, like officially, like we together we arranged for some kind of date. And what I visualized was spending a nice afternoon somewhere in the city of Vienna. Go out and grab something to eat, and to drink some wine, and get in the mood, and talk. And I still have that feeling that she needs to spend more time with me to realize that the bond we have. And I always feel like we still have to do that, and to be able to talk, and reconnect. I still feel like we have to do that. I mean, I still feel like that. So on January 16th, I think, Wednesday, I got on train, and 9 o'clock in the evening, I was at her place again. I rang the bell outside, and she was at home. And it was a destiny, because that day she had nothing planned, and she just recorded me a long recording and sent it to me, but I never received it. I mean, it was like literally 20 minutes before I got there. I mean, she probably sent that recording to me at the moment I stepped out of train, because I got off Wi-Fi signal, and I never received it. So when I rang the bell and she opened the door for me, and yeah, Jesus, it's you again. So she was surprised again. And of course, I feel a little bit awkward, when I show up like that. But I had that feeling, I had that calling that I have to go there and see her and talk to her. And that we need to see each other more. Even though she has a boyfriend or whatever, I don't know, I just feel that way, you know and she told me, I just sent you a recording. And she sent it, and she showed it to me on her phone. And I'm like, you don't have to show me. I trust you, I believe you. You don't have to show me. But I had to get on her Wi-Fi to be able to download it. So I downloaded it, and she had things to do. She was on the phone and trying to get ready for tomorrow work, something. She was on the phone with her friends. And in the meantime, I listened to her recording. And she invited me inside, and which again I appreciated. And all. And she just cooked some meal for somebody else. and she told me that later on we started talking, and she offered me a beer, and it was, I felt good and awkward at the same time, but mostly good. And I know that we are able to talk when we get together, and we always had things to talk about before, you know, and she's so beautiful, and I could look at her, I could, keep staring at her, all the time, and I could finally enjoy her company for a couple hours. I think it was like 2 or 3 hours. We sit down in her living room, and we chatted, and she put on a TV her favorite majestic chill music, and we talked, and drank beer, and we talked about New York a little bit, and basically trying to catch up. And I still have the feeling that we still gonna keep talking about it in the future, because this is still unresolved issue. And she told me about that she's thinking about breaking up with her boyfriend, and I felt kind of hope that I might still have a chance, and that's what made me to when I got back from there. That's what made me to try a little harder, to get back on track, with communicating more with her, more often, like on daily basis. That's what I was trying, you know. Uh, okay, so we chatted. It was nice. Then I left, went back home, um, and it was just destiny, because she didn't have nothing planned until like later on midnight, and she walked me out to the bus stop, and we smoked menthol cigarettes, and and I will never forget these moments, because it was the best moment of my life, and it was kind of like what I visualized before, that one day we're gonna get together, and we're gonna talk and enjoy each other's company, even though we met online, and we only saw each other once, 5.5 years ago, in New York. And this was this was actually the third time I actually saw her in person, and I still feel we have many more times we're gonna see each other, and eventually I know it's gonna click again. I know that I'm convinced, and I believe in that, even though she doesn't. I do believe in it. Call me crazy, call me whatever you want, think, whatever you want. I don't care. I just love that girl. She's amazing. She's an amazing person, and she's such a good-hearted girl, and she's trying so hard to make something out of herself, even she lost a job recently, and she's going through some tough times or whatever. But she still enjoys, she's still trying to enjoy her life, whatever she's got going on. I mean, she's such a positive thinker, and I know that deep inside she's very nice and good-hearted person, even though she's like presenting herself like she can't be broken, or whatever. I know that deep inside she is in some kind of pain, or whatever. Anyway, if she only knew how much I feel for her, and how much I know her, and I so much want to share things with her, and I want her to share things with me. But anyway, maybe it's never gonna happen. you know it's just fine with me. I just know that all I want for her is to be happy, with whoever, you know. I don't care if it's me or somebody else. I just want her to be happy, and I'm good with it, you know. I can make my peace with it, and that's fine. But my body, my heart will still love her no matter what. I cannot help it, you know. Anyway, so when I got back home from her, you know, I keep thinking about it, you know, all the time, and I want to start like uh, a daily conversation. So I started sending her iMessages and some pictures, you know, but she didn't catch up. She didn't respond, and then actually a couple days later, on the 19th, January 19th. She recorded me a really nice recording, and she wanted, you know, some advice from me with her boyfriend, what she should do, and I gave her some advice. But I probably touched some soft spot or whatever, because then a couple days later she really jumped jumped at me, and she got pissed and mad at me or whatever. Uh, she's like, stop sending me all those text messages all the time. But I didn't even send as many, you know. I sent only like 4 or 5, like in the morning one and in the evening one, you know. And she snapped at me, and it's not good since then. So we don't talk again anymore much, except, you know, as what it used to be before, you know, in once a month or whatever. That's what she wants to do. But I still know that I'm gonna see her again, and we're gonna start talking more. I know that, but I just leave it be right now. You know, I just wait for her to just get back to me, and I'm not sending her anything anymore. Anyway, 3 weeks after I was in Brno, I moved back here with my sister, and that's where I'm at. I mean, I think this is my second week here, and I'm trying to solve my situation somehow. I'm trying to find a job, uh, and that's about it. So from my next recordings, I'm probably gonna start somewhat from a beginning of my American story. All right. I just want to remind that these videos are unedited, unscripted, and they are not in chronological order. I might be talking about stuff, you know, as it comes up my mind, and hopefully, you know, in the end, it's gonna, when you put all the pieces together, it's gonna make some kind of sense. So this was part 8 of my crazy story, crazy American story, crazy Vienna story, crazy love story, crazy, you know, houses story, illegally crossing Canadian border story. And I know that more crazy stories are coming in my life. You know, I am still going through unresolved story with my house, because I still don't know if it's gonna sell or not, if I'm gonna lose everything, or if I'm gonna be able to get back on track. And I don't even know how I'm gonna do it, if I sell the house, if I'm gonna start investing in real estate here in Czechia, or if I'm gonna go back to America, if I'm gonna be able to successfully waive my 10-year bar, or if I'm gonna have to jump the Canadian border again back to America illegally. I don't know. I mean, it's all in the stars, and it's gonna be crazy. I recently started also posting some pictures on my Instagram. Like the last day when I was in Brno, I started my Instagram again. I was on social media before, like when it all started back in '08. I had like I had a Facebook and all that until like 2012, and then I closed it because I didn't feel it's beneficial for me, or I don't know, it didn't make me feel any good. But recently I've decided I am going to do it again, and step by step I'm gonna uh, reopen my profiles and hopefully turn it into some kind of business too, like other people do. So I am going to have a Facebook, and I already started my Instagram, and I am going to continue posting videos on YouTube, and hopefully, uh, it's gonna turn into something purposeful, something that's gonna make some kind of sense. So talk to you later. Talk to myself later, because I'm just talking to myself on the camera. Okay.